Hospitals, as the first port of call for health emergencies, often handle cases with utmost care to save lives, which is the core of the medical profession. When it comes to gunshot wounds, however, there are allegations of apprehension and evasion from a number of hospitals who demand police reports before treatment of patients requiring urgent attention, contravening the Gunshot Act of 2017, which mandates compulsory treatment of victims without police report. Many, sadly, have bade the world farewell due to this development. Now, considering the supremacy of the law, why does it appear difficult for health facilities to fall in line? How aware are citizens about this law, and how active has the police been in propagating the law within the force? This edition of Dateline 360 hopes to x-ray challenges to the implementation of the Gunshot Act of 2017. I am Omotola Omojola. Thanks for tuning in. The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, recently ordered medical facilities in the country to treat gunshot and accident victims with or without police report. This admonition comes after 6 years of enacting the law, and one may wonder, why was it necessary for the Inspector General to reiterate this legal obligation? Francis Form takes a look at the directive, enforcement and compliance.
So we have to understand.
The IGP's directive is in response to the growing concern over the tragic loss of lives due to neglect of gunshot and accident victims by hospitals in the country. Before now, the compulsory treatment and care for victims of Gunshot Act of 2017 existed, but its implementation was not given the desired attention. To effectively implement this act, the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, decided to revisit the act with a view to ensuring that accident and gunshot victims get the needed attention they deserve from healthcare facilities during emergencies.
It's not even a matter of appealing or not appealing. It's a matter of law. The compulsory, mark the words, compulsory treatment and care for gunshot victims, Act of 2017. So if you see the words in the Act, it's compulsory treatment and care. So it's not about to say, I don't have police report, I'm not going to attend to you, please you can go. No, it's becoming unprofessional, it's becoming terrible, and we just need to nip this in the bud.
The IGP's directive, Force Public Relations Officer Muyiwa Adejobi says it aligns with the full enforcement and compulsory treatment and care for victims of Gunshot Act of 2017, which mandates that all healthcare providers prioritize the immediate care and stabilization of such patients, recognizing the critical importance of timely medical attention in saving lives.
When questions are raised, they always blames on the police that is due to lack of police report and what have you. That's why the IGP came out in clear terms that with or without police report, please attend to all victims. Even if it's a criminal, a confirmed criminal, attend to him first, because we'll need him to give us more information while we investigate.
The Force PRO notes that it underscores the moral duty and responsibility of medical practitioners to uphold the sanctity of life and provide life-saving care to those in need, aiming to bridge the gap between the law enforcement agencies and healthcare providers, facilitating a more efficient and compassionate response to emergency situations, and curbing crimes by fulfilling their obligation to invite the police for assessment while treatment is ongoing.
The signal has been sent to all formations, commands and formations across the country, so that our personnel, our officers and men are in the know of this new development, that you don't go to any medical facility to go and arrest a doctor or the practitioners for attending to a gunshot victim.
All medical institutions and professionals have also been told to adhere to these directives and fully cooperate with the law enforcement agencies when necessary, emphasizing the paramount importance of saving lives and promoting a safer and healthier society.
The Nigerian Medical Association has reacted to that too, that they are ready to treat all these victims. So let's be on the same page. Let's save lives first. The issue of police report might come later. If it's a doctor notices, or a medical practitioner notices that the victim or the patient is suspecting the patient to be a suspect or a criminal, all you do attend to him first. Then you inform the police. I know every medical facility or owner of any medical facility should be close to the grassroots police. At least you know.
Similarly, the Nigeria Police Force says it will continue to collaborate with all relevant ministries, departments, and agencies, particularly the Federal Ministry of Health, for the full enforcement of the provisions of the Act. For Dateline 360, Francis from NTA News.
Understanding the magnitude of non-compliance with the 2017 Act comes with understanding the consequence in human fatalities. And Ignatius Nkwo reports that statistics of death due to unattended gunshot injuries continue to rise. In our next report, he highlights the provisions of the bill and the position of the National Assembly on the level of compliance.
26th of September 2023 was one of those black days in the Federal Capital Territory. Greatness Olorufemi joined the League of Victims of One Chance in Abuja, painfully died at the Maitama General Hospital, where it was alleged that she was denied treatment for not providing a police report. This is just to mention one case of the many lives of Nigerians cut short for reason of law without human face. The Robbery and Firearms Special Provisions Law 1970 states that it shall be the duty of any person, hospital or clinic that admits, treats or administers any drug to any person suspected of having bullet wounds to immediately report to the police. The law was in response to the increasing cases of armed robbery shortly after the end of the Nigerian Civil War. More than 40 years after, it became apparent that the law had become obsolete and needs amendment.
Look at it from the beginning, the hypocritical law. Every medical doctor will tell you that it is not money first, it is to save life. Even if the person is an armed robber, or is a condemned criminal, or is somebody even known, no matter the crime, it is when the person is alive that you even investigate.
On the 11th of July 2017, the Compulsory Treatment and Care for the Victims of Gunshot Bill was passed by the Senate. Section 1 provides the right of every person with gunshot wounds to be treated, and Section 2 for the duty of security personnel to assist them, while Section 3 prohibits any form of inhumane or degrading treatment of victims. Unfortunately, 6 years after signing that bill into law by then President Muhammadu Buhari, compliance level by hospitals has remained abysmal. This provoked a directive to hospital facilities from the Inspector General of Police to ensure compliance to the new law.
Especially those Nigerians who are victims of armed robbers, victims of criminals. And you have that law, and the Inspector General of Police had actually, called that legislative directive or legal framework. I don't think any hospital should have the right to refuse to comply with that.
Right to life, right to security. The Constitution did not exempt even a man that has been so, not just alleged, so convicted. And what you rightly see is that even in prison, there are healthcare facilities.
The National Assembly is also worried that 6 years after signing the bill into law, citizens like Greatness and others could still lose their right to life. It resolved to intensify oversight of hospital facilities to ensure compliance.
It should be shocking to me that any staff in any hospital in Nigeria will disobey a law that has been passed and signed. That will be breach of their oath of office.
We at the National Assembly, anytime we pass a bill and the president assents to it, it becomes a law. And it's not optional, it's mandatory for MDAs to carry out that law. And I will say very soon, we at the National Assembly will be carrying out oversight.
To conduct proper oversight over them, to make sure that this law is obeyed in compliance, but not in breach. So essentially, it is for the National Assembly to invoke its power of oversight.
Now is high time the sanctions as provided in this law began to take effect. Section 11 provides for 15 years imprisonment or 500,000 naira or both for any health official found guilty of contravening this law, resulting in the death of a victim. For Dateline 360, Ignatius Nkwo.
For or against in this case, the ball stops at the desk of healthcare practitioners. Salwa Khaled makes inquiries to know why this unethical turn of events in some health facilities.
When there's a gunshot wound, under whatever circumstances, the first thing is to get help from the nearest healthcare facility, which is suspected to treat as an emergency. But are hospitals living up to these legal obligations?
Most people, most facilities don't even know about this act that I even talked about in the first place. Then the second thing is that there are some weaknesses in the act. The act talks about, a patient going to a facility, okay? A gunshot injury is something really significant and shouldn't be looked after by just any hospital or any facility at all. The facility has to have the capacity, okay? Now, there's a primary level care, secondary level care, and tertiary level care. Most probably, it will be secondary level care and tertiary care that will have the capacity to actually look after gunshot injury patients or individual who has had a gunshot.
Delay in the treatment of victims of bullet wound by some healthcare facilities have led to the loss of lives. Their hesitation is often linked to an initial law that requires a police report before treatment. In 2017, however, a law mandating the compulsory treatment and care of victims of gunshot wound was enacted. In spite of this new law and the legal obligations, allegations of violation of the law by some healthcare facilities abound. I visited the FCT Hospital Management Board, an agency of government saddled with the responsibility for regulating and supervising all medical facilities in the Federal Capital Territory.
Yeah, there are laws already. First, the National Health Act, provides that all emergencies should be treated. Nobody should be denied care, whether you have money or irrespective of the degree of injury, whether it is crime related or not. So I'm sure all hospitals or medical practitioners, they are aware of this, However, if there are cases where hospitals are afraid of being victimized because they treated this, I'm sure once you document what you do, you understand, there shouldn't be any problem.
The harrowing experiences of victims of gunshot wound and their families alike owing to delay in treatment is better imagined. On the other hand, healthcare providers who treat gunshot wounds without security clearance are sometimes accused of aiding criminals.
There have been attempts at health workers' lives by aggrieved relations. So that's why it's even a good thing to have police presence in our emergencies, or at least security presence in our emergencies.
Recently, the Inspector General of Police made a public statement citing sections of the law that compels hospitals to treat victims of gunshots, to re-emphasize how this is binding on hospitals. Each hospital have corporate policies that are unique in handling medical cases. One would want to know how the rule of law apply in this instance.
You treat and then report. Yes, that's what the law says.
So first of all, we need to have a properly organized emergency medical services and ambulance system. That's the first thing. We need massive advocacy. I want to see in every accident and emergency place in secondary and tertiary facilities around the country, this act, this compulsory treatment and care for victims gunshot act, it should be the first thing I actually see when so it reminds everybody that, hey, once a patient comes in or an individual comes with a gunshot injury, you cannot be asking for police report and stuff like that. You go ahead and do the needful. Another key problem is that we need to actually, that 5% of the what called the Basic Health Provision Fund that's supposed to go to actually helping people who are indigent or people who don't have any money when they actually come into the hospital. And that can be any of us at all. To at least start treating the patient and give good patient to that treatment. And we need to do all this because the Nigerian patients are worth it.
It is all about saving lives, and security agencies and healthcare providers are duty bound as clearly spelled out by the law. Salwa Khalil Ibrahim reporting for Dateline 360.
Indeed, saving lives should always be top priority for healthcare providers. We continue our inquisition further in the sector with Chidebere Onye's look at compliance level by both private and government hospitals in Port Harcourt.
Lives lost to gunshot wound have been on the rise following negligence from medical facilities and most especially the request for police clearance before treating wounded victims. But this may change if the recent directive from the police authority that prior approval is no longer needed before advancing treatments. The enormous assumption that every gunshot victim is an armed robber who possibly escaped arrest often warrants the demand for a police clearance before treatment. This has most often placed medical personnel in conflict with their Hippocratic oath, which seeks to first preserve lives.
The issue of using police medical extract or medical reports that you are not seeing it, therefore you know this patient, something is wrong. I don't think it's only you want to protect the patient. And you cannot protect the patient or protect yourself when the person have died. It's no longer protection. And it's no longer care. And the essence of that law that was instituted since 2017 that have some lapses and constraints. And these constraints are not God-made. They are man-made. We are supposed to save life despite costs, despite police reports. And thereafter, you can now give alerts.
The new treatment protocol by the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, directed all medical practitioners in Nigeria to provide prompt and compassionate treatment to victims of gunshots, irrespective of the presence or absence of a police report.
There was a time some policemen raided my hospital here. They said that they heard I was treating gunshot injuries and that those gunshot injured persons were kidnappers. So they kind of came to arrest me. I was astounded and shocked. But what I will say is that what I have always loved to do is, number one, save the life first. Gunshot injuries, especially of the viscera. The viscera encompasses the abdominal area, the chest, and the pubic area of the body, where we have our private part. It's very difficult. You have to do exploration and digging to expunge the bullets. So some doctors, to waive off that headache, arguing with the patient relations and co. They just say, there's no police permit, go to government hospital.
The IGP's directive comes as a response to the relentless outcry from concerned citizens, highlighting the enormous consequences of delays in treating these victims.
My plea with doctors is that please, just treat the victim first. When the victim is okay, well, from there you can get whatever evidences. You know, so some of these victims can tell you the truth. That's okay. This is what really happened. This is where and where the issue happened. Just based on the way you attended to most of these victims.
Hospital, please, this is your time to open your windows, open your doors. Make sure that you use this great opportunity to treat people. Even when you used to treat people and you said, or you refuse to treat people, they don't have money, that is not the best way. I know you open to make money, but please also open to save life.
I think the IG should send his monitoring team to go around and then monitor the hospitals that are not obeying the rule. And whatever sanction that is due them, he give to them for disobeying his order.
Though the police say it is the duty of medical personnel to first save lives, health watchers reiterate that the shortcomings as regards to losses incurred by unpaid treatment bills is one that should be addressed quickly. In Port Harcourt, I am Chidebere Onye, reporting for Dateline 360.
And from Gombe comes a cheering news where Zara Umar Adamu reports that priority is given to saving lives by both the police and hospitals, particularly after the enactment of the 2017 Act on treatment of gunshot victims.
The Compulsory Treatment and Care for Victims of Gunshot Act 2017 ensures that victims receive immediate and adequate treatment in both public and private hospitals without police report. Since the enactment of this law, the narrative of waiting for police report before attending to victims changed in Gombe State, as health facilities now give prompt and compassionate treatment in accordance with the professional ethics of saving lives.
Coming of the law is just coming to further consolidate on what we do, because we are guided by our code of conducts and ethics. So even before the order, once somebody presents to the hospital to an emergency room with a life-threatening condition, in which case most of the time gunshot injuries are coming as an emergencies. So, and they are handled as emergencies, whether there is police report or not.
As far as Federal Teaching Hospital Gombe is concerned, we have never for one turned away or turned down any victim of gunshot injury, or be it accident or be it the gun injury as you made mention. Because our concern is to rescue you, to save your life. Of course, at the cost, information, history must be obtained as to what led to the gunshot injury. But that does not mean we are going to judge you.
Stationing of police personnel at health facilities has relieved the people of the tension of obtaining police reports before being attended to.
But there will not be any time, particular moment you go there with your victim, either accident or gunshot, that you will not have a presence of police that will sign and take care of that. That is to be able to save the life of that particular victim.
We've always treated all patients, all gunshots, assaults, accidents, trauma cases. In fact, all patients that come to this hospital that need emergency care are usually treated before any police report.
For this year, 2023, from January to date, I think we had almost 27 gunshots injuries. This year has been a little bit calmer than the previous years.
To the people, compulsory order of the Inspector General of Police will save a lot of lives that may be lost due to delay in assessing police report before treatment.
It's actually a very good, development. It shows that, the police has taken it upon itself to ensure that it reforms some of its policies, some of, norms that they are known for. So I think it's actually a welcome development. It will help to, sanitize a lot of things in the polity.
Considering the fact that many people has been dying as a result of this kind of gunshot, most of the time when the report reach police, they use before the report reach police and come and take action, you'll find that the victim has died. We got many cases like this, but with these directives, it will assist, it will help the station, and it will even improve the security.
People therefore called for more awareness on the provisions of the law on treatment of gunshot victims. Zara Umar Adamu, NTA News.
It is a fact that every life deserves proper care, particularly in the case of victims of accidents and gunshot wounds brought to our healthcare facilities requiring urgent intervention. It is necessary that citizens insist on shelving protocol for compliance in the interest of this category of victims. The life you save by doing this may just be yours. As you imbibe the spirit of saving a life today, invite police and ask questions later. Thanks for sharing the last half hour with us. On behalf of the production crew, I say thanks again. God bless you and bless Nigeria.